Good morning, Captain Kumar. So
Welcome.
today we go to Oman.
That's right. So I went to Oman in 79 end for the post of Harbour Master Mina Kabush. When I reached Oman, the immigration saw my papers and he said, why Hindu? Why not Muslim?
Oh,
Because it was a big post. They're not used to. They put me in a hotel first. Next day, I went to the office. I met Barry Metcalf, the general manager. They were doing my papers for entry, or passes. And then they asked me to select a car. I chose a Toyota van. They bought a Toyota van same day. And they put a state emblem on it. And then I went into the harbor, had a look at it. At the entrance to the port was a police station. There was Superintendent of Police, Fernandez from Bangalore. He was in charge of that police station. The rest were all Omani staff. So I went inside, I had a look at the harbor. I found some tugboats, I found some launches and all. I saw the crew. But there were three Britishers working in the port. One was Barry Metcalf, other one was handling the cargo, and the third one was for the workshop. I had only 3 Omani pilots. Hardly 5 to 7 ships came per day, and mostly they came in daytime. So I realized that they are not used to Indians sitting on top of them. So I had to build confidence in them. Before, the harbour master never used to pilot there. I said, I will pilot ships from 6 to 8 in the morning. Then the other pilots can come one by one, as they call them, to do the rest of the day. To show them that I'm not just a plane pusher. So then I started piloting the crew who were Omani. They were seasoned people. They were working in Kuwait Harbour before. And as the port was new, it was 10-year-old only, that time. The new Sultan Qaboos had taken over in 1970 from his father. He was trained in UK by the British. Then he run the administration there also. And then he was a benevolent fellow. His father was old-fashioned. He wouldn't develop anything. And they also found oil in Oman in 64, 65. So he wanted to use that oil and develop Oman. So he was a good man, benevolent. So I saw this. They had all old things in the port. So I wanted to do it. There was Sultan's yacht also, beautiful yacht, 400 feet long.
Oh,
It was such a huge thing. Was there. So out of 10 berths, one berth was occupied by the Sultan's yacht. So I started piloting. I started developing the local people.
what was your salary at that time? What did they offer you?
That time they offered me 8,000 riyals. That was 25 rupees a riyal. That means 2 lakhs a month. They offered me.
That was a princely salary for those times.
And so when I saw it, that all old machineries and all, so my first urge was to develop it. To my luck, Barry Metcalf was taken away. He was given by the United Nations to run the port. Because the turnover was because he was less qualified than the harbour master. And he cannot sit on top of it. So he was removed. See? And Awad Shanfari, a very powerful tribe from south, Dofari tribe, from south of Oman, where the Sultan also came from. He came as my president. So he talked to me and he liked me very well. So I asked him, look, sir, machinery is old and spare parts is a problem even if you buy something new. So I said, I want to see the equipment. It's Dubai, Abu Dhabi has got. Can I drive there for a 2 or 3 days trip? I take some engineers from the port. And he said, yes, go ahead. So that time I drove, my wife had also come over, okay? So she also came. I took 2 Omani engineers. I went to first Sharjah port. I saw what equipment they have. Then I went to Dubai port. I saw that. Then I went to Abu Dhabi port. Abu Dhabi port, as I saw, finished everything at 1 o'clock. I got the harbour master of Abu Dhabi told me, sir, the Minister of Transport wants to have you for lunch. Now this 5-star hotel. Can you please go to so and so? So we went to that hotel. So we went for lunch there. He was sitting on my left. On my opposite side was the Egyptian translator. On my right were my 2 engineers. And my wife was at the end of the table. See? So he started asking me about Oman. Then he started asking about Singapore. He came to know I was from Singapore. So I kept on talking for an hour. It went on. And in between, he will talk to my engineers in Arabic, which I didn't know. See? So then after 1 hour, this Katabi asked me, "आप किधर के रहने वाले हैं?" In fluent Hindi.
Oh,
He was educated in St. Xavier's College,
Bombay.
Bombay. I laughed. So I said, "Why you want this translate?" So it was all very happy lunch and all. So while going back, it was take 5 hours to drive back. But why I asked these Omani engineers, what was he asking you? He said he's asking me, how come his wife is accompanying on this official mission? So I said, what do you tell them? He said, sir, he is in a very powerful position. The Sultan of Oman knows he's the first Indian. The Sultan of Oman knows him. So he can do anything there. So we went to Oman. So when we went to Oman, then what everybody, the Omanis, the crew and all, has to go and have tea in the morning, actually, before the ship started coming in. I started having tea with the crew, launch crew, the tug crew and all, to have their confidence in me. And they all started talking nicely about me. So everybody was happy. Even the pilots were happy that they were not woken up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do the ship.
And you were accepted, even as a Hindu.
As a Hindu, that's right. That is what happened. So that was the initial starting of Minakabhi. And our Chandfari became very fond of me. So I said, look, I will take you to Singapore. You see how the harbour is. Before I start modernizing. So we'll have some idea. So I went to Singapore. I didn't even tell them we are coming. He and me and a doctor, Lebanese doctor. 3 of us went there. And I went to the reception in Singapore office, at the Port of Singapore office. And I told the receptionist that we are from here. I have been working here for 10 years. He is the president of my port, Minakabhi. We would want to see the harbour. I want to show him how a modern harbour looks. So the chairman of the port called us for lunch. They were happy. So, they called us for lunch with my president and majesty and my director of the port who knew me very well. So they purposely asked me, how long you were with us? I said, I was 10 years with you. Oh my God. They're very happy. And then we took a tour of Singapore, came back, so that I could start with modernizing the port. So in my 10 years over there, I built bunker barrage. I built tugs, modern tugs, voice Schneider tugs, which can propel very easily. Then I built a speedboat. All were designed by me, telling them what engines to put also.
Oh,
So,
that must have been very interesting.
yeah.
So you were now an architect, kind of, or an
I was
engineer.
architect. I was accepted by American Bureau of Shipping for surveys. I was accepted by Lloyd's Shipping as I was wearing 10 caps in between because nobody else knew all these things, and I knew all. So I became surveyor for Lloyd's for cargo. I became a technical surveyor for American Bureau of Shipping. If any ship had an accident, I had to certify repairs and all. There was a large Marathi crowd over there, holding good positions. I heard that they had 30,000 Indians there, but 3 lakhs Pakistanis.
Hmm.
The journalists there came and told me
Hmm.
they were from India. They told, there are a lot of Maharashtrians. There were nearly 100 Maharashtrian families there.
Acha.
In Moscow. My wife had a great time. She was conducting all the cultural and
Events.
she was well known. And then I was introduced to Air India manager. He was Ashok Gupte. He introduced me to the Indian who went first 2 centuries before he went to Oman. He was Govardhan Das Khimji from Mewar, Kutch. From there he went in a dhow to there, and he said, and his father came back, and he stayed there. 2 centuries they went there before,
Oh,
and
very adventurous.
they were treasure. They used to loan money to the Sultan when they had no oil that time. And Sultan's father, before 1970, they had gone to Zanzibar, which is a small island 20 miles off Dar es Salaam on the east side of Africa. There, it was under a Tanzania state, but Tanzania Prime Minister Julius Nyerere, who was a very famous person, he had allowed them to thrive. Why they went there? Because there was nothing grown in Oman, so they could trade with ivory and cloves. So they and do farming also. So a lot of Omanis had gone there 100 years back. Sultan's father was also most of the time there. Then after only when the oil was found, British trained his son, Sultan Qaboos. Primary education and middle education was in India. And then he went to London. He was at Sandhurst, he went there, where he did the military training under the British, and then he stayed and see how the country was run. He learned that part also.
Management.
And he came back, and with the help of the British, in a nice way, he put his father away and had the vision of developing Oman. That's how Oman started growing.
Okay. So I think we'll stop here
Yeah.
and continue next time because.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.